Welcome back, Looplers. It's been a minute since I've made a video. The new playtest changes dropped recently, and so I've been having a lot of fun playing them and testing them out. I will make a video on it in the future when it goes more public, but for now I'm still learning everything, or relearning, because a lot of stuff has been changed. But about the daily, I am first in terms of people who have completed it on the new playtest, but across both playtests, I'm not. It's weird right now. Both on the high loop leaderboard, at least, both playtests share that leaderboard, but the top score is how many people on the new playtest have completed the run. And I haven't tested it, but I assume that means that on the playtest side, the regular playtest, the seed is different than the new one because there are a couple new items. So that may influence the run if you are watching, if you have the old playtest pulled up. But new playtest people should be able to follow this guide one for one. Everything is seeded now, including car parts. So that's cool. Makes it so a lot of the stuff is more standardized. I do appreciate it. But otherwise, it's a pretty interesting run today. There's not really any way to. It's silver, and you don't get a really high amount of gold anymore because of the changes in the patch to the gold bug that was giving us a lot of our gold in previous runs. And so we have to rely a lot on building up our top speed as much as possible and buying car parts when we can, which for this run, unfortunately, is not for most of the run. The only time I buy car parts, I think, is round 12. Instead, what I do to build top speed, because all we have is loopy wheels, golden wheels, and turbo fangs. The issue is loopy wheels and golden wheels take too long to build up, especially because we generate way less gold. And so my strategy for this run was to use overload gates to generate extra boost, pass my boost cap to then fuel turbo fang. And so I spend the first 11 rounds doing that, and then round 12 we switch it out and then use our durability to survive really long and really maximize our boost cap by allowing like overfuel injector and things to reach that natural boost cap. And then every time we lose durability, we reset that process and our total boost cap gets a little higher every round. This is the first daily I'm recording in the new patch, and it's definitely not how I expect most of them to look. We are missing some important things like gold gates as well as golden loop and gold rush. I think we do see a gold rush later, but having one earlier with like golden teeth would be a lot more beneficial than the gold on start. Small things, but definitely made the run a lot more difficult than it had to be and required me to do the overload gate strategy. I feel like a lot of my more recent recordings have been using overload gate. I do appreciate that the freeze bug has been patched. Not freeze bug, but Meep has made it so if you freeze the car for too long, it does just explode, or I think freeze. I don't know, I haven't tried it. But with that being patched, it makes the overload gates a little less overpowered, but still usable, especially in a run like this where you just want to speed past the boost cap. Um, I do like how they work. It's a very high risk, high reward type of deal, and I think they balance themselves pretty well. Okay, a bit of spoilers for round 12, but when you do win round 12 with the new changes, you do get two options of challenging Infinity, which right now Infinity scores don't get posted on any leaderboards. There's no Infinity leaderboards. I don't know if that's going to change, but we'll see. And then engaging Overdrive is the other option. And what that does is instead of having your car overloop or like decelerate over the course of however many seconds it takes, instead it just starts your overdrive, which is what happens when you run out of fuel or run out of durability, and lets the car just go for the entire duration, which I think is a lot more interesting, especially because the overdrive car parts are now more useful for high loop runs. Having like an extra 4 to however high the upgrade goes seconds of just the car looping at the end is like a big game changer. And I wish I had gotten those upgrades at the end of this run. I think I went for like fuel consumption upgrades on round 12 for some of my car parts. Definitely don't recommend doing that. You don't need it. You have enough durability that you can get by without it. And getting that on something like overdrive would let you get a couple more loops out before the end. I think I ended with like 112K. You could definitely push it to 120 pretty easily, especially if you change a couple things from my run. But yeah, so far pretty straightforward. We're basically focusing Turbo Fangs and trade requisitions and then just upgrading that overload gate. Not much to it. And then I pick up the Lappler or the Loopler, sorry. The card is called the Loopler to help get through a lot of the early rounds. I've tried other cards, but they definitely did not work because they don't give you enough score. This is the only scaling one, so it does scale with the rounds. If I had more time to experiment with it, I would try getting rid of the overload gate in this shop and seeing if maybe I can build up enough top speed through just Turbo Fangs over the next couple rounds to survive round 12 and maybe squeeze out a bit more loops. But if you don't get rid of the overload gate here, you definitely can't do that. I did do a run after this where I tried getting rid of the loopler towards the end of round 11 with the overload gate still up, and I used way too much durability just finishing that round. And the top speed benefit I got from that was not worth it at all. So definitely, if you're gonna try that, do it earlier so you can get rid of the overload gate. But otherwise, if you just follow this one to one, you could probably do better with some better car parts. I didn't really push it too far. They are seated, so you might just have to copy what I did one for one. Not entirely sure, but definitely keep in mind. And if you're playing on the old playtest version, I'm not sure what exact items are available, but maybe this strategy still works. Not sure if the seed is different there. I'll take a look after, but as of recording, I'm not sure. Yeah, really straightforward run. I don't know, not much to say. Just buying gates and turbo fangs, really. Oh, and if you're wondering where the music went, I recorded like 4 runs without the audio and just straight up didn't realize. And the one run where I did record the audio, I didn't win the run. So we get the completely silent recording where if I don't talk, then there's nothing to do, nothing to listen to. So it's pretty good. I'm pretty good at what I'm doing. I'm pretty freaking fantastic. But yeah, these are the last couple shops. We got just the same stuff. I think this shop has like a couple more turbo fangs. Might have zero actually. But we do get rid of that overload gate with another fuel gate. I think gates are well balanced in the fact that you can't just sell them. And so if you put down a gate, the only way to get rid of it is to replace it with another one. And it creates this like balance of kind of having a escape plan with gates. And there's very few gates that do actually nothing. No gates do nothing, but gates that negatively impact your like high loop or low loop runs, like you have to figure out which ones will least negatively impact your run and then swap your gates out with those. I really like the balance that they have there. Here we do want boost cap upgrades. We're on round 12 now. And then I got boost cap on the pump as well here with that one reroll. And then I think I later get efficiency upgrades on the tank, but that's not necessary. And neither is the boost decreases slower on the wheels. Instead, I think I would rather go for an overdrive upgrade and maybe upgrading the boost caps a bit more if I had to redo this run. Definitely would have helped with scoring a lot more than just more fuel. But here we go. That's the option I was talking about earlier with Engage Overdrive or Challenge Infinity. And then it literally just starts the overdrive countdown like you've run out of fuel or durability. Very nice run. That got me a couple thousand extra loops. Really cool. Definitely can be improved on, but it's a short enough run that if you have the time, I don't think it'll take more than like an hour and a half to get maybe 130K if you're lucky. Not entirely sure what the highest possible is, but I know 112 is very easily beatable. I do look forward to doing more of the dailies. I feel like I'm not getting a good grasp of all of the changes yet, especially because I can just turn off unlocks and play over and over again to get what I want in normal runs. And so I'm excited to do more of the dailies to see what works and what strategies I'm not thinking of right now that do work now. But yeah, we're first on the top scores and second overall across both playtests. I might take a look later to see what the big differences are between this version and the normal playtest version. And I also might give score leaderboards a try, with those being a new addition. But we'll see. I will catch you guys tomorrow.